If you ever dreamed about opening your own studio, this episode is going to give you a real look at what that actually takes. Because having your own space, your own vision, your own community, that sounds amazing. But turning that idea into something real, that's where things get interesting. Today, I'm talking with Najmah, a dancer and yoga instructor who made that leap and opened her own yoga and dance studio. Let's get into it. If you're a dance or fitness instructor who wants to grow your classes, boost income, and turn your passion into a real business, you're in the right place. Each week, I'll share the exact strategies, lessons, and truth smacks from building a thriving belly dance fitness brand. We'll dive into what actually fills classes and keeps students coming back so that you can build a profitable instructor career. So, lace up those sneakers and pull on those dance shoes. It's time to build the business you deserve. I'm reel.It, and welcome to Dance Fit Biz Builders. Hello and welcome to Dance Fit Biz Builders. I'm reel.It, your host, and I've got a treat for you today for this episode. A lovely, lovely woman, phenomenal dancer, an amazing teacher, and I've had her teach a masterclass on flamenco and belly dance, but with ties to Judeo-Arabic people and dance, and it's just a whole niche. And I'm excited to have her here on the podcast because she told me she is opening up a studio, and we're going to talk all about it because here is this wonderful woman who is diversifying, and she's going to teach you how she did it and the mindset around it. So, Najmah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to share.
So, Najmah, I kind of want to start a little bit from the beginning, but not too far. Just quickly tell me, how did you get into dance, belly dance, flamenco, yoga? How did that all come together?
Okay, so I stepped into a dance studio early one day, and there was a private belly dance class. And the music drew me in, and that's that story. I started taking belly dance classes at 15, almost 16 years old. And I'm 52 now, so a long time. And then flamenco is, so my mom's side of the family is Cuban and Spanish, and that side we admired flamenco, had flamenco statues in the house, like every good Spanish Cuban house at that time. And I started taking classes simultaneously, flamenco. And it was really difficult to go from one teacher. She was like a madame of a ballet school in New York at one time. Her name is Esther. And so she was very much about being very straight and thin and you know, having, I was flipping back and forth too. My other teacher was like, oh, softness is good. So I continued that way for a while. And then I saw a movie called Van Gogh. And I don't know if you remember that movie or not, but there was one scene where there was Egyptian Sufi singer and a flamenco guitarist. And my world opened up, and I was like, that's possible. Nobody's upset. Everybody's happy. They're collaborating together. It was beautiful. So then I started to fuse. I started to find music that I could fuse to. The music that really drew me in was Ladino music because it was the fusion of the two.
And while you were dancing, were you also practicing yoga and meditation?
Yes, so yoga has always been a part of my life, meditation. It really helped. I feel like they all kind of help each other. There's the balance and that breath to movement. In dance, sometimes we lose ourselves. And many times I can do a performance and I won't remember anything that happened during that performance because I just lost myself. And in yoga, you have to be very present. It's that mind-body connection and that breath work and mindfulness with each movement. And so it's a great balance and healing. And one of the things I really wanted to offer other women and men, just the community, is a place of healing. Even if they're with me 1 hour a week, that space of feeling when they walk out better than when they walked in.
Amazing. And you were teaching dance, yoga, meditation at what point? Was it all at the same time?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, different classes, but yes, yeah. So flamenco, I never taught like pure flamenco because I don't feel like I'm that level. But the fusion of it and belly dancing and yoga all together.
And you know, the fusion of it, right? The Ladino style of it. That's just as old, I think. No, am I mistaken?
Yes, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
what I read in books is that when flamenco started, it was when the gypsies and the Jews got kicked out of Spain, and they were together in, many parts outside of Spain in mountainous areas. In this, there was like a Jewish style of flamenco. I forget what you call it, but it just stopped because in this one book I read, like many of the gypsies were like, just we can't perform this anymore because they have worse luck than we do. I saw recently a rabbi in Spain, and he was doing all like the flamenco hitting his body, but it's like a tradition that was passed down. So that I would like to look into more. That's interesting, where all the tapping of the body, the chest, the legs, the arms, the clapping of the hands. And he says that that tradition was passed down to him during prayer. So that's another road to travel down and learn more about.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you're teaching, you're performing, right? When did you feel like you wanted something more?
So it's so hard to rent studio space, and it's like very much more expensive than it was in the past, and things have gotten more expensive. So studio space around me is typically $40 to $60 an hour. There's one space that I did find that was nonprofit Irish dance studio for $20 an hour, but because it was so cheap, there's only 1 hour a week offered. And the studio owners always get the best studio times. So you get, the off times where people can't really make it. I was been teaching a Friday night class at 7:15, and it's people come, but it's hard to make because people go out of town or they have plans on a Friday night. So the opportunity came up, and I teach yoga classes at the gym, and I have, a nice following of yoga students. And yoga really opens up to all types of people, ages, genders. It's a more inclusive feeling, I think, so people are more out to come to a yoga class. So my yoga classes on Sundays have been between 50 to 60 people. And Mondays, my yoga classes are pretty packed too. So I thought, and I have a dance partner and yoga partner friend, Karen. She's going to be my partner in all of this. She teaches yoga and belly dance too. So I was like, let's do it. The opportunity is here. It's a great location. Location does matter. It's affordable. Let's do it with majority focus on yoga, meditation, and healing, and belly dance being a part of that journey. Right now, I think on the schedule, we have 4 belly dance classes, and the rest is, yoga, meditation, sound healing. We'll do those weekly classes, but also offer workshop series of choreography classes, because that was another thing. Your students want to learn choreography, but then you have new students coming in and like, and so you don't want to teach new students choreography, and you don't want to be the focus all the time. You want technique and, freedom of movement too. So having a space where you can do all of that is great.
You know what I love, Najma, is that you are thinking out of the box. And it's really not really thinking out of the box. You found a pain point for people and you're offering it. So here's what I mean. Belly dance is the vehicle to healing. And that is how you're promoting it, as opposed to come take a belly dance class. You know what I mean? That's what is attractive to the masses. So, listeners, think about it. If you're teaching tap, ballet, if you're teaching dance fitness, how can you reword your descriptions, your titles, perhaps? Tap dance for cancer survivors, whatever it is. You know, I used to teach belly dance to breast cancer survivors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, why not?
Yeah.
Bring more people in, and you're going to learn so much through the process, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What I've noticed through all my classes is that people really want healing. They really want to feel better. And in our world right now, it's kind of hard. If you're working all the time, maybe you don't want to dedicate yourself to becoming a professional belly dancer, but you just want to have a space where you make friendships and community and feel good about yourself and others after.
And you know this. You know that people want to heal and feel good is because you asked those questions.
I think intuitively that's been my journey. A belly dance has been a source of healing for me, an empowerment to feel comfortable with who I am, my body, um, to feel like I can express myself. Even though I'm a performer, I'm a bit of an introvert. So speaking in public, and just till I started teaching yoga more and doing Dharma talks and really talking a lot, because in yoga you have to talk throughout the whole process, have I felt more comfortable. But dance has been that journey for me. And when I see women come in, I see them wanting to get something out of it, but just not sure what it is. And it always ends up being, Najma, you helped me feel brave enough to get out of this relationship by taking this class. Or, Najma, you changed my world. I've gotten, I have a few handwritten letters I kept because handwritten letters don't come often, but they're like so sweet and like gratifying. Like you're doing the right thing. And with my yoga classes, I have people come up to me and tell me I was going through a really hard time. Your classes have saved me. And not that I'm something special, but just holding that non-judgmental space
Right.
is what people really want.
So you didn't ask the questions, you held the space, you listened,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of the times, as instructors, we give off this essence. We bring in the type of people we need based on us, on the essence we. So amazing. So it's not just you have to ask questions, but listen if you're not. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, can you walk us through this process? You decided to open this yoga meditation dance studio with a partner. Walk us through the process.
So we did a lot of like number stuff, which I'm an artist and number stuff is not easy for me. It's never been. So luckily, there is AI and there's features to help you get through that process easier. So like envisioning what it would be like so we did like a revenue breakdown. If we had 5 classes a day, let's say 20 classes a week, 6 people average in each class, we charge an average amount, $20 a person, depending on what they have, what pass they have. It would be 2,400 a month. So we did like breakdowns like that and got ourselves more comfortable with the idea. We asked questions like how much is the electricity average at this location? And our utility company told us, and all those little things that were needed. And then we said, okay, we can do this. And we, also wrote down the cost, the startup cost, which would be security deposit, first month's rent, deposit for electricity, and then thought about the resources. There's the Chamber of Commerce who will do a ribbon cutting and do that social media, reach that you really need. And then, we're going to do a soft opening, like an open house. And we're doing free mini classes for everyone to get a taste of the stuff, what's being offered. Social media is something I think we're good at, but not good enough at yet. That's going to be the challenge, like being creative, making videos, being okay videoing ourselves because we are, the face of the company, the vision. So we're doing that now. We found a software to use, similar to MindBody, but cheaper, good reviews. So that will help us being not organized, I mean, we're a little organized, but not like most. And I feel like that's good that we can admit that and have that software to help us because that will give students the option to sign in right when they come in, reserve the class before they arrive. So we have an idea of how many people are coming. And then they can purchase classes there. They can purchase private classes there. And that will, set up ClassPass, the membership. So having memberships renewed every month, that software will help do that because one challenge we both had throughout teaching career is keeping track of classes. We did class cards, but then class would start, you're running in, you only have that hour rented, and okay, getting people signed in is taking up time. It's never been really my strong part being able to keep track of classes. So I'm always leaving it up to the student. Okay, how many more classes do I believe you? So this will help keep track of all of that.
And so you foresee social media might be a little challenging just because, filming yourself and posting. But what was a challenge when you are creating the studio? Like,
The challenge was understanding the contract and deciding what should we do a year? Should we do three? We're only going to do a year at first. We're going to take it slow, see how it works out. That was the most challenging payment of, thinking about payment of teachers that come in. Right now, it's going to be us and then one other teacher. But we would like to have more teachers. All the things you need for a studio before you get started, the yoga mats,
yeah,
pricing them out, more singing bowls for that, more of that surround sound healing
yeah,
energy. The luckily some things were already in place, like the speaker system was already in there. Mirrors that we already have the mirrors because they're in my own little home studio. So we're just going to use that simple mirrors from Home Depot. We feel like it's more important to have the space than it is amazing mirrors, but they're good. They're good. Just the feeling of the space, having that, the space where people can come. And something I have to keep reminding myself is that it doesn't have to be perfect in the beginning.
right.
We never reach perfection, but what we think opening perfect would be. It doesn't have to be that way. The space has to be available to others and a space where there's good energy.
I love that. I love that mindset that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to happen. Yeah, love that. Because some people are fearful of just doing it like you are.
Yeah, and I totally get that. But I said to myself, I'm 52 and I've always been fearful of making that move. And I'm like, now is the time. What is there to really lose? I'm doing what I love. I know people are looking for this. They're looking for the right space because I see the gym, I see the yoga classes, I see people wanting to be a part of something. And just being able to have that space 1 hour a week, I can't achieve that. Even 2 hours a week. But if I have the studio space, I can achieve something bigger than that.
I love that. Thinking about the big picture like that. So you're pushing through it, facing your fears, you're doing it. But was there a moment during this opening process where you thought, shit, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, a couple of times. I'm so nervous. And I think mostly my nervousness comes from, will I just want things to the things that I think need to happen, I want them to happen already. And then that way I feel good. That's my way of dealing with anxiety, but it just makes me more anxious. So I'm like, I always have to remind myself it's going to happen on its own time. Little things, bank account. To my partner, it has a Puerto Rican bank account. So waiting for that bank account to merge with our business bank account takes 3 to 4 business days. But every day we're checking. Or like getting the business license, and the EIN. My husband has businesses, and for some reason it took a couple of days and he had it. For us, it took 8 days, and we're like, oh my gosh, we can't do anything. We're waiting on this EIN number and the business name to be registered in order to open a bank account or to get this software up and going. And so it requires a lot of patience and I think too, I'm just so excited once you make that decision, especially if you know, I feel like it's a little Yorkie or Chihuahua and you're holding them and their legs are going like this. And then all of a sudden, you put them down and they go running, and that's me. I'm like, now I'm running. Like, I want all the things to happen. So, just having patience. But the most difficult part was that the waiting game, not knowing. There's like, oh, do I need to get a special permit? Like it's not a new space, so I'm not sure. So you call the city, and and they have all the answers. It's what you're unsure of, there's always a place that has that answer for you and
Yeah. Yeah.
can help you out along the way. And I think for cities, it's really good for them to have new businesses open.
Oh, yeah.
So they're out
Yeah.
to help. Chamber is a really great place for helping as well.
So that's what surprised you the most, the waiting, having to
Yeah.
have patience. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm so excited.
Yeah, of course.
And
Of
then
course.
we were opening pretty quickly, too. So we decided we're gonna just do it. We're not gonna wait a couple months to get everything, perfect. We're gonna just start. So the waiting part was the most difficult. I feel like having a good partner, like we've worked together, we've known each other for 14 years and
Oh,
we've danced and we're very similar. So there's like no judgment. It's very like, oh, I know you, you're like me, type of energy. And so it's really helpful. Karen is an amazing partner and we really help each other in every aspect. So we're very similar in our teaching style, our belief and things. So I think it makes that helpful because I'm not
yeah.
alone. There's someone next to me, but that's a mental thing, not alone. I've seen many people do it alone. My mentor in the past, she had her own studio, and I think it's just a mental thing. It's nice if you are going to have a partner that they are very similar to you.
Well, you're very, very lucky with your partner. And you know why you're also lucky is that you're blending all of your loves and you're making a business. And did you ever think, can I do all this as a business? Have you ever thought about that? Like,
No, you know what's funny is that December of last year, I got a present from one of my yoga students, and inside was a card. And the card, she's like, oh, by the way, I put my phone number on the card because I don't know. She's like, if you ever decide to go open up your own studio, I want to know where you go. I want to follow you. And I never had thought about it. Yoga, always dance, but I was like, wait a minute, she thinks I can have my own studio? And sometimes it takes our mind, we have patterns of thinking, and it takes someone to give us that detour to open up a new road, a way of thinking. So ever since December, it's been on my mind. And then this opportunity came up in March. This is
mm,
how soon it came up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I can do it. I'm ready for this. And someone else believed in me who doesn't really know me, who's like, I don't want to miss out on your classes. So if you happen, she saw me as this person she felt was at the level that they could open up their own studio, and she wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
she was in the know of where I was at.
And when is your launch date? When do you open?
May 1st is our soft opening, and we're going to have all the sample classes, 30 minutes to 20 minutes to 10 minutes, depending on the class, and get people used to us. And we have something that we're going to offer called the Founders Membership, which is a locked-in price for the next, year or two, depending on how much we're open as a studio, as a business. And they'll get that price for unlimited amount of classes. And then, after we fill that up with 20 people, then it will go to the regular membership price. So we're going to launch that on the first day as well, like get people excited, but I feel like our prices are really good compared to like some of our students came to both of our classes and we're paying a lot of money, and this is going to actually make it much cheaper for them, and they'll get yoga classes and meditation and healing and singing bowls and all of that.
Where is your website and where is your studio located for those listeners who live in Florida?
The studio is located in Gainesville, Florida. It's in a shopping plaza called Thornbrook Village. And it opens up to a nice courtyard. So I see us doing a lot of shows out there. Our website is ourhealingmovementlab.com. Yes, ourhealingmovementlab.com. So ourhealingmovementlab.com.
Very
And
nice.
our acronym is OHM, OHM. So
Mhm.
we're going to, shorten it OHM Lab. Um, Going on to, Sunbiz in Florida at Sunbiz, and making sure, I mean, there's so many OHM studios and we wanted something to cover all dance and yoga. So if we called it a dance studio, then people wouldn't realize it's yoga or yoga
Right.
studio. So we just decided to call it Lab, OHM Lab. Thank
Exciting.
you so much. Thank you.
Najma, for those instructors who are dreaming about possibly opening up a studio one day, what would you want them to understand before taking that step?
That I really think that diversifying yourself is really important. Belly dance classes, if there are belly dancers, or any dance class, our teacher, I think it's important that you have other things that you can offer. And that way the audience grows. And what I've learned is people who, for instance, that go to yoga would never dream that they could go to belly dance class. But now that I merged the studio with so much yoga, the students feel like they've talked to me. They're like, wow, now I can finally try a belly dance class because I didn't feel like I could do it before. And it's weird how the mind works, but now you've opened up that door. Not necessarily you have to do mostly yoga classes, but just diversifying yourself. Think about the startup cost. I got a space where I'm not going to put a dance floor in. It's tile floor. It's very beautiful black and white tile floor. But I think it's enough. It's a place to be, a place to start. The mirrors, like I said, are really inexpensive. We probably spent 1,200 on 6 mirrors. I feel like it's more than enough. Yoga, you don't really need mirrors. So the space is small. I didn't start really, really big. The whole space is 848 square feet. But I think that's a great place to start. And enough. It's bigger than my garage. And just startup costs, just realizing starting small, I think is important, and grow with the business.
Grow with the business and learn as you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Yeah. Don't feel like you have to know everything.
Yeah. And and how comfortable you are using AI. Um, there's a lot of tools on there that are very helpful. There is an AI version for businesses called Claude, and it's been really helpful in creating portfolios and things I would have to spend probably months doing myself. So
Right, right. Yeah. Najma, it's been such a pleasure having you on the podcast. You're so relaxing when I hear you speak. It's like,
I love hearing that, and I think it makes me feel good because I teach yoga, and my voice has to be relaxing when I'm teaching
yeah.
yoga.
I would love for you, Najma, to take us out with our signature outro.
Okay, folks, until next episode, go and kick ass.
That was a hot way to say it. Thank you, Najma.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. I had so much fun sharing. You're amazing. Thank you, Orit.
Oh, you're amazing.